7:52 at KNEB, and time for News Extra, today brought to you by Jolliffe Funeral Home. And we're joined this morning by Darren Emerick from Bridgeport with the Prairie Winds Community Center. That's kind of your day job, but here to talk some tennis, huh?
Yeah, I'd like to. A lot of times people think about tennis and what they think about is drills and lessons and tournaments, which are a lot of pressure. But there's a new opportunity, and this will be our third year with junior team tennis here in Scottsbluff. And the team tennis takes kids anywhere from 5 to 18 years old, puts them on court with age-appropriate equipment, ball sizes, court sizes, and they just have fun. They still play matches. Everything counts, but it's a team environment. It takes a lot of pressure off the individual players, and it's very social, and it's just a great way for the kids to spend time on court outside of that lesson tournament environment.
And outside of high school.
Yeah.
Tell us about the sport. I mean, this, again, is a sport that we can play literally lifelong or, long into our life anyway, like golf. And unlike, say, football or baseball, that we're probably not going to get much past our 30s playing.
Absolutely. Tennis is a sport for a lifetime. My basketball days ended with a blown knee in my 30s. I anticipate playing tennis, and I play tennis with people who are in their 70s and 80s right now in doubles, and it is a lot of fun. It's a great lifetime sport. Not the easiest sport to learn, and that's one of the nice things. You'll spend your lifetime learning to get better at it.
Mm-hmm. Tell us about facilities and opportunities here in western Nebraska. How are we doing?
We got a lot of courts actually around. Some of them are not in great repair, but the courts that we play team tennis on are at Scottsbluff High School, and they are very nice courts. There's also courts at Gearing. There's courts on some of the smaller towns. Bridgeport has a couple courts that are barely playable. But what you do is you get the kids all together, form these teams, and then just play in the best courts, which right now for us is Scottsbluff. And we actually in Bridgeport just bring a bus down here just to play team tennis in the summertime.
Mm-hmm. We've got a lot of kids playing.
We do. Bridgeport added a few kids from Alliance, Scottsbluff, and Gearing last year, and I think the total team tennis league was about 28 kids. We're anticipating close to 50 this year. We'd like to see full teams from Alliance, Scottsbluff, and Gearing come along. That'd be great. But once the kids kind of get into it, and sometimes they just come along for the first time as they're invited by a friend, they're hooked. And it's the most fun way you can possibly play tennis as a kid.
Well, it's a great alternative for kids who don't play baseball or softball or soccer, some of the other summer sports, right?
It is, absolutely. And I'm a big believer in having as many sports as you can. So I love having kids on swim team and playing soccer and playing tennis at the same time. So it kind of adds on to that opportunity. But there are some kids who don't want to play contact sports. Sometimes they don't even want to play team sports, and tennis just gives them another great opportunity.
Yeah. Darren Emerick is our guest, and we'll visit more about things happening with tennis and some other things going on at the community center coming up.
Sensitive, comforting, personal. Jolliffe Funeral Home. Let Jolliffe Funeral Home help you when you have lost a loved one. We will help you honor them with unmatched service and artistry. Our team will help you carry on the legacy of your family members and friends. With over 100 years of experience, we offer professional and personal attention to every detail in the planning process. We also offer advanced planning as a continuation to our services. That's Jolliffe Funeral Home. Our family serving your family for 3 generations.
With Darren Emerick of Bridgeport, the Prairie Winds Community Center, we're talking about tennis here this morning, and we're going to touch on a couple of other things coming up at the community center. But this opportunity to play tennis with kids really helps them compete next fall again, or when they go back to school for the high school leagues, right?
It's a great season extension for both the boys and the girls. The girls' season's getting ready to wrap up. They can play on into the summer. They can actually play mixed doubles in team tennis, something they don't get to do in Nebraska because we have separate seasons. For the boys, great warm-up, great way to get started before your season in the fall.
And you're involved with this at a state level, right? You're like the state director?
I'm actually work for the United States Tennis Association, the USTA, and I'm the state tennis specialist for youth. Oh. And my job is just to get kids on the court.
Yeah. So you travel in that capacity? You get around the state of Nebraska?
I do. I do travel around the state of Nebraska. My emphasis, of course, anybody wants to play tennis anywhere in Nebraska, I'll do anything I can to help them, but mine is more on the rural aspect of it. There's lots of ways to play tennis. The first kids that I ever taught were taught in a gymnasium with chairs and caution tape between them for nets.
Mm-hmm. It does take a little bit of a facility to play, but we can get it going, right?
Absolutely. And you can take a parking lot and draw out lines on it and play. There's a lot of play opportunities. And then as you get to a higher level, of course, you need better facilities. But there's plenty of those around as well, too. We have some good high school facilities around here and public parks as well.
And So, again, if people want to get involved and get a team together or kids together, what do we do?
The easiest thing, just be give me a call. And my cell number is 308-279-0509. You can also always get a hold of me through Prairie Winds Community Center in Bridgeport. And that number is 308-262-1825. If you have a team, that's great. We'd love to put you on the court. And if you just have an individual child that wants to play, we'll find a team for them to play on.
Find a place for them to play. Terrific. Darren, tell us about Community Center. You're getting geared up for Camp Clark Days coming to Bridgeport. Of course, big event here at the end of the month.
And Camp Clark's right around the corner. Now, Camp Clark's June 6th this year. That might throw a few people off. It's a little later than usual. But we're adding a new event this year that we're really excited about, and that's a barbecue beef cook-off. There's not a lot of beef or barbecue competitions in our area, and we have high hopes for this one. This is a brisket-only challenge. People that are great backyard grillers, I hear about them all the time. This is their chance to put it on the line. We have some great prizes, great sponsors, and this thing's going to be a lot of fun.
And when is this going to be then?
Well, the check-in will be on June 5th, Friday night at 6 p.m., so they can do whatever they want with the meat, marinate it, whatnot overnight. The cooking will be all day on the 6th. That's Saturday. That'll be in the Prairie Winds Community Center parking lot, and judging will start at 4 o'clock.
And is there a public tasting then, like there are for most of these cook-offs?
You know, we're not doing a tasting per se this year, but we will be selling meals off of this.
Okay.
Then hopefully we'll grow it in the future, and that'll be one of the things we'd like to offer.
Yeah, well, it sounds like a lot of fun. And again, to get involved in that?
The best thing to do, again, would be contact the community center. The Bridgeport Lions Club is actually sponsoring the event, but you can get a hold of me at 262-1825.
Darren, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
All right, Darren Emerick, our guest this morning.